Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. That's probably going to happen, if not every time, at least part of the time. Excuse me, during summer with rent a home, it's just kind of going to be that way. So thank you for your patience and for waiting on me. Also, it didn't help that I thought like normally I will wake up between 6 and 6:30, even without an alarm. Of course, I have to get up at 5 during the school year when Rena's in school. But typically, like I said, I'll wake up about 6 or 6:30. But I guess I needed some extra sleep because when I rolled over this morning and looked at the clock, it was 8 or like a little after, and I was like, oh, uh oh. But I feel like that was self-care. My body slept till 8, so that's what I needed. So I am getting my coffee now, a little bit later than usual, but coffee is another huge part of my self-care. So I'm going to hop on over to the comments now and see who's here today. So let me say hello to all of my Tuesday morning friends. Happy World Sea Turtle Day. Happy World Picnic Day. Happy Fresh Veggies Day. Well, I don't think I'll see any sea turtles today. If I do a picnic today, it's going to be indoors, which even if the weather was sunny during summer, I would not be out there anyway. But we are having like all day rain today, which I kind of like. It helps set my mind to, I can pretend like it's, fall, or I can be spookier because the sun's not like glaring down on me. So I could do an indoor picnic. I think that would be fun. And Fresh Veggies Day, I got that covered. I got some cucumbers. I've got some carrots. I've got cabbage. I've got tomatoes, fresh from my garden. So I got that. Got the Fresh Veggie Day covered. And how are you, Swank? I got so caught up in your announcements about what today is that I think I forgot to say hello, Swank, and I'm glad you're here. Oh, well, I love that you are playing pickleball. That does sound like so much fun. But thank you for popping in, Eleanor. I hope you have had a good week so far, and I hope you have a lot of fun at your pickleball game. And some hellos and highs from everyone in this lovely community. Yeah, sleep is definitely something that some of us don't get enough of. Yeah, we went for a long period of time in a drought where we desperately needed rain, but we have had a lot of rain lately, which I don't mind. Like if I had to get out and go, somewhere today, I'm not a big fan of having to get out and deal with getting in and out of my car in the rain with an umbrella. But if I'm just going to be at home, like I said, especially during the summertime, I love to have a rainy day. And Swank said, bye, Eleanor. Yeah, so you all probably know I'm in Alabama, so like on the Gulf Coast. And we had like for a while it was really dry. And now we're kind of in that summertime pattern. Um, which most days in the summer we do get rain in the afternoon. Like you'd have like a sunny morning and then you get those pop-up thunderstorms. But today, like it was raining when I woke up, and it's just kind of one of those all day, more so like a soaking kind of rain, which is really the best kind. It's really what we need. So I don't mind. It's kind of nice because, like I said, it keeps the glaring sun from being in my eyes, and then it's not as hot outside, but it's still obviously humid. And sometimes the rain might keep the temperatures down a little bit, but you usually really can't tell because it's still so humid. And then sometimes the rain just makes it feel, especially if you've got those pop up thunderstorms where it's the sun is shining and then you get the rain and then the sun, starts shining again. Then it's like you're in a steam bath, a sauna. You just, that humidity, you step out the door and like takes your breath away. So let me know what you all did. I didn't even put the banner up to welcome you to Self-Care Sprints. Like I said, I'm just kind of running late, and that sometimes makes my brain even worse than usual. So let me know what your self-care practices that you put into effect this past week. I would obviously I put in an effect, a self-care effect today because I slept in. I've have my coffee twice a day every day, even though that's like a routine, and it's like a, really, to me, it's like a personal ritual. I still consider that part of my self-care. Twice a day, morning and afternoon. I did some reading. I'm trying to think of what else I did. I did practice some self-care stuff. I think I had a therapy appointment last week. I think that was last week. Y'all see where my brain is. I spent time, well, if you were here for the Parable of the Sower live show Sunday, you know that my best friend Zila, she was my co-host, and instead of just connecting from her house, she actually came here to my house. So we did our live show, and then after that, she stayed for a while. So we hung out, we chatted. So spending time with Zila is always a good part of my self-care. And then thank you again to everyone who was able to attend the live show for Parable of the Sower and contribute such insightful comments and give such a warm welcome to Zila, because she was very, very nervous. That was her first time being live on camera, but she did beautifully. And I just want to thank you all again for being so welcoming and kind to Zila, because she's an amazing person. I actually did another self-care. Tim had a doctor's appointment Friday, and we got a sitter for Rena, so that I just went with him to his doctor's appointment. And after that, we went out to lunch together. So that's always nice to be able to go out to lunch with Tim and just to kind of escape and have a little date day. And I've been, like I said, I've been doing some reading. I hope, well, no, not, I will. On this next sprint, I'm going to finish North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Ballingrud. I have like 10 or 15 pages in the last story of the book. So I will finish that. And once I get done with that, I need to design invitations for a baby shower. I use Canva, and I design invitations. So I need to design an invitation for a baby shower. So that is my plan for this sprint. And I also have to give Rena her breakfast. So depending on how long it takes Rena to finish her breakfast, I probably, I'm sure I'm not going to get both. I know I'm not going to get the invitation design done. Maybe after she finishes her breakfast, I'll have time to finish North American Lake Monsters. So let me check the chat and see what you all got up to. And you can also let me know, since I was talking about what I was, what I was planning to do on this self-care sprint. You can let me know what you've been doing for self-care and then what you plan to do during sprints. Yes, it's annoying, because even with an umbrella, like, to me, like, maybe it's just me. Maybe other people are like cool and they have no problem. But when I'm trying to get back in my car with the umbrella, and then I'm like, you have to close the umbrella down but you're still kind of like outside of the car, or at least your arm is, and then you got to shake the umbrella off, and then you got to get the umbrella in, and then I still get wet. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. Exactly. Yeah, like I was saying, it does help some. 30 minutes, yep. Sometimes, sometimes we got to get that time, and our bodies know. A lot of times, we don't listen to what our bodies are telling us, and then our bodies get louder and more insistent, and then we have a problem because we weren't listening when our body was telling us, hey, you need to rest, hey, you need to stop. We were tripping y'all out. I love it. Up, see, Swank. That's what I'm saying. I just, before I even saw your comment, that's what I was saying. If you ignore yourself, you ignore your mind and your body, you don't want to do that, because then you could have some worse issues from it. And I do the same thing myself. So I'm not just telling you, I'm not sitting over here like I'm good at this either, because I am terrible at it. I'm terrible sometimes. I've gotten better because I've had to get better. But sometimes I still will push, or down, or keep going forward and ignore, my mind and my body. There's signals to say you need to step back, you need to take some things off your plate before you have, you go beyond minor like burnout. It's like a major breakdown. Very good. Swank is I always admire Swank. She is faithful to do the morning pages and the study book. Zila, she was so nervous, and she's like, I don't know, I just wrote some stuff down. I don't know if it makes sense. I said, if it spoke to you, write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Yeah, quotes, like, I guess part of it is really because my field of study, being in English, but quotes, like, they stick with me, they resonate with me, um, and so it's easy for me. My problem sometimes is I want to, and if you see some of my books I've shared with the tabs, I annotate sometimes too much. I run out of tabs. I'm writing everything like says something to me. So I feel like I need more of a balance. But yeah, I go a little bit crazy. I'm like, ooh, I think this could mean this. Ooh, what about this? Or ooh, I just think this quote's beautiful. So yeah, there's got to be a middle ground somewhere, and I haven't found it. I love the Summerween crafting. I put some of my well, I don't have a lot of Summerween. I have a ton, a ridiculous amount of Halloween stuff, but I do have a few Summerween things, and I did put them out this past weekend. Um, and it is making me happy to see my Summerween stuff out. Another thing that I want to do today, and I will do that, probably not on this sprint, but later today. I'm going to make my plans for Ed Lewis's Summer Spooks event, which starts, it's either June 20th or 21st, and it goes through July 4th, or you can do a bonus day of July 5th. I will link his announcement video in the chat whenever we go on our sprint, but I want to participate in Summer Spooks. And then, of course, Gabby from Gabby Reads has Summerween. So I'll probably, while I'm planning my Summer Spooks plans, I'll probably go ahead and do my Summerween reading, watching, activity plans too. So that's something I'm excited about doing today. And like you said, doing the reading, Eleanor, and the Summerween crafting, I see like planning my Summer Spooks and Summerween ideas is self-care too, because I love it. And it's perfect because like we got the rainy day, so it's a little bit more gothic, like a little dark, a little moody today. Yeah, there's like the official, now they have an official Summerween date, which is funny to me because those of us in like the spooky realm of things, we've been having Summerween for years and years and years. But boxed pumpkin and buttercream icing, chocolate candy, perfect. I have I have some tea I ordered from Dryad Tea. That's I'm trying to save it for fall, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and break it out for summer spooks and Summerween because it's a pumpkin tea. And I have like a pretty decent sized bag of it, so I could have some now and still have plenty for spooky season. And if not, I'll just order another bag. But I make a mean pumpkin bread, so I will probably end up making that at some point for Summerween too. I'm excited. Mm. No, well, I want the pumpkin bread today now, but I just made like oatmeal bars yesterday, so I don't need to make any pumpkin bread, and I don't think I have any canned pumpkin right now anyway. Yeah, I think like you said too, like sometimes I find, and this is just a problem that I feel like a lot of people who do booktube or book talk or bookstagram, people who or like I have a Substack now where sometimes I'm writing about the books that I'm reading. Sometimes it feels like it's stripping the joy of just reading away because it feels like a job, like work. Even though it's funny because that's what I love to do. I love to analyze and I love to get deep into what I'm reading. So I don't know. It's like, again, like I said about how much I annotate, it's like trying to find that balance. I've thought about different ways of doing things. You know, I kind of like lately have not been talking in depth about every book I read, which, my booktube channel slows down as far as like filmed videos during the summer because of Rena being home every day. But I'm trying to, work through that. So I don't know. This is just rambling thoughts that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. Well, maybe it does, but I don't want to bore you all with my, inner workings of my mind. Hey, Alicia, happy to see you here. Painting the bookcase. Ooh. I gotta go over to Discord. If y'all don't know, I feel like everybody here knows Alicia's library flooded a while back. So she had to redo the floors and get different bookcases. First thing I'm gonna do when we go on sprints is to link ED's Summer Spooks announcement video, and then I'm going over to Discord to look at Alicia's picture update. So y'all head over and see too. And some howdies and highs. All right, so let's see. Thank you for being here, Eleanor. I hope you have a wonderful day and a fun pickleball game, and we'll see you again soon, I am sure. Now I've got to see. I know Alicia was talking, I think on, was it Saturday Morning Momentum, Alicia, you were talking about your shelves being like 8 feet tall. Because I was saying I would have to get a step ladder to reach up there. And then I was like, no, even better, it could be an excuse to get one of those rolling, ladders for your library. So I'm only 5'1", so I would not I would have to have something to stand on to get those books. But I love that. I love a big, tall bookshelf. So we will go ahead to sprints now, and it is 9:25. So we will come back at 10 after the next hour. So I will put that down in our little ticker across the bottom. And let's get that popped up there. Yeah, you just go ahead with the rolling ladder, Alicia. You got the opportunity now. You got it. You got to have the rolling ladder, and then we can all be in awe of that. Well, it's sometimes a real pain to be this short, honestly. And just before we go, just a funny thing about how short really I am, and like how like I am a like small kind of person. I could stand obviously to lose some weight, but that's a different conversation. Uh, but my hands are like so tiny. I don't know how well you can tell like on camera, but they are like super tiny. My mouth is so tiny that whenever I go to the dentist, or when I saw orthodontist when I was in high school, had to have braces and all that. The dentist and the orthodontist both said you have the smallest mouth of any adult I've ever seen. And so even now, when I do go to the dentist, they have to use like the kid instruments for me because my mouth is so small. So yeah, I'm a small person, and it's very inconvenient sometimes because even with my phone, like I'm just blabbing to y'all today. Maybe I've missed conversations with people. Maybe I don't get enough in the summer. I'm sure I don't. Um, but most people they can just do whatever with like one hand on their phone or whatever. But my hand really doesn't work that way because it's so small. So I'm having to like use both hands and like both thumbs every time. So yeah, it's a whole thing. And I did not mean to get off on a tangent about my small mouth and hands. But since I have blabbed up some of our 45 minutes, I'm gonna shut up now. And I will see you all again at 10 after the next hour. Happy self-care sprint. Hello, everybody. Let me know what you got up to during those self care sprints. I did not get any reading done. I did get Rena's breakfast, which was the priority, and it took her a little bit longer to finish her breakfast than I expected. But while I was getting her breakfast ready, I did listen to a podcast episode, which I'd started last night, and I didn't finish it. But it's a Pod Mortem. That's one of my favorite podcasts. I just love the host. You have a brother and a sister, and then the husband of the sister, and they're just so funny to me. I will link their podcast also down in the comment section, but they do like very, very in depth analysis of movies. So their episodes typically last, about 2 hours. They even have some 3, 4. I think they have some that go close to 5. So you're definitely going to be like, kind of splitting up time listening to them. But their analysis is like so insightful, but then also they're cracking jokes and they're just having the best time. But the episode I'm listening to right now is an episode about The Void, which I finally watched for the first time over the weekend. It was something that constantly was popping up on, my recommendations, or, I'd watch something, it would be like viewers also like, or, also watch, The Void. So I kept seeing it again and again for like years. And so finally this weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive in. I'm going to see what it's all about. So I enjoyed it. I don't know if any of you have seen The Void. It's not a perfect movie, but if you like cosmic horror and you like movies set in hospitals, then give it a chance. But as soon as I finished watching it, I was like, I gotta go see if Pod Mortem has an episode on The Void, and they did. So that's big self-care for me, watching a movie that has been on my radar for a while, and then hoping, fingers crossed, when I check Pod Mortem's backlog to see if they have an episode about it. So yeah, that's what I did, was listen to part of that podcast episode and got Rena's breakfast for her. So I will check the comments now so I can see what you all got up to during that sprint. Ooh, we had a lot of comments. Yay. And I went and looked at Alicia's bookshelf pictures, and oh my gosh, her bookshelves are amazing. I'm so happy for her. Maybe a little jealous, but mostly happy for her, because she went through a lot with that flooding. So I'm so excited that she's got these gorgeous bookshelves and an excuse now to have that rolling ladder. And then I was linking E.D. Lewis's Summer Spooks announcement video, so you can join that. I participated in it last year and I had a lot of fun. If you haven't subscribed to Edie's channel yet, then please do that. He mostly reads Gothic. His videos are very atmospheric. He works with lighting. He also does poetry videos, and he's just a really cool creator. So if you haven't followed him, please go and do that. And then I linked my Substack in case you would like to subscribe there, where I enjoy writing about horror and deep dive analysis into horror. And I will also be officially launching a literature course for adults that's offered to my paid subscribers on Substack. So right now, everyone, paid subscriber or not, does have access to that announcement for my class, and also a summer movie watch list. So the watch list really helps to set the tone and the mood for the course, which officially kicks off on August 31st. But like I said, the announcement post and the watch list for summer movie recommendations is free for everyone. So you can check that out. You're so welcome, Alicia. It looks so good, and I can't wait to see the bookshelves in there and just everything like finally finished. I'm so excited for you. Hey, Kat! Look at Kat. Look at her. She is on the ball this morning. Exercise, showered, dressed, drank a smoothie, made coffee, tackling tasks on her to-do list. Kat, you have had so much energy lately, and I'm just really proud of you for doing all of the things. And even if you took a break and didn't get to some of the things, I'm always proud of you, my kindred spirit. Hey, Em, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad that you've got those chores knocked out. Kick up your feet and read. That sounds amazing. That is what I plan to do on the next sprint, is to get to finish North American Lake Monsters. Like I said, I've got 10 or 15 pages in the last story. Also forgot to mention, I am listening to an audiobook too. It was just kind of one of those random selections where I just scrolled a little bit on Libby to see if I could find something that piqued my interest. So I forgot the author. The title of the book is Aurora, and the author is David Cope. That ring light such a glare. But anyway, it just I don't understand exactly like all the science behind it, but that's okay. Because I think the main thing I care about is getting into the story itself. So I'm going to go to the Goodreads synopsis because I don't think I can really adequately explain the concept because I'm not too far into it either. So this says, from the author of Cold Storage, which I've heard of, but I didn't read. From the author of Cold Storage comes a riveting, eerily plausible thriller told with the menace and flair of Under the Dome or Project Hail Mary, in which a worldwide cataclysm plays out in the lives of one complicated Midwestern family. So it has something to do, I do know, hello, Frere. It has something to do with like the sun, or something happens with the sun and like this magnetic something or another, and it's going to cause like all the power grids, everything to go out, so people won't have power. They eventually won't have water, and it's going to last anywhere from like 4 to 18 months. So it is pretty scary. So okay. In Aurora, Illinois, Aubrey Wheeler is just trying to get by after her semi-criminal ex-husband split, leaving behind his unruly teenage son. Then the lights go out, not just in Aurora, but across the globe. A solar storm has knocked out power almost everywhere. Suddenly, all problems are local, very local, and Aubrey must assume the mantle of fierce protector of her suburban neighborhood. Across the country lived Aubrey's estranged brother, Tom, a fantastically wealthy, neurotically overprepared Silicon Valley CEO. He plans to ride out the crisis in a gilded desert bunker he built for maximum comfort and security. Again, I just finished Parable of the Sower, so why am I reading another book that hits so close to home? I don't know, but I am. But the complicated history between the siblings is far from over, and what feels like the end of the world is just the beginning of several long overdue reckonings, which not everyone will survive. So I like the character development so far. I like Aubrey as a character. Tom is kind of a, obviously like a bit of a dick kind of dude because he is this CEO and he's got this gilded bunker. He's, got all these protections in place that those of us like average everyday people clearly wouldn't have. But it seems to me just from the synopsis that even though he's got this secure space, maybe everything won't go as well for him as it seems. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying it. So I always like that too. If you kind of are scrolling and you see something that wasn't on your radar and you're like, I'm gonna give this a chance. And then when you give it a chance, you actually, like it. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm sorry, Frere is everywhere. So don't knock the lamp over, buddy. I love this boy. I sure do. And he's a big part of my self-care. Absolutely. He's getting mad and wanting me to keep petting him. So now I'm trying to like use one hand to pet him and the other to operate the laptop here, and some hellos and highs from our lovely community, one to another. Would you quit prayer? I need both hands. Look at you, see Swank's on it too. Got the morning pages done, almost done with the study pages. Prayer, don't knock the lamp. Prayer, you're chaos. You're utter chaos. No. Oh, this boy is something else. Why don't you sit in my lap? Huh? You're less destructive here. Come here. Sit down. There we go. So Kat is setting up the live chat with Alex. So y'all be sure to check out Kat's channel and Alex's channel. And if you read their book club book, check out their live show on Thursday nights. And some hellos and highs. Yeah, it was interesting. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but listening to the Pod Mortem podcast episode, there were so many roadblocks that the directors and writers and the crew ran up against, and so many like things they had to do last minute, and things, you know, they had planned to film in one place and then they didn't get to film in that place. So it helped me really develop an even deeper appreciation for what they did do with the movie. And the effects are like fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I had a really good time watching it. And it had one like literal, this cat is going to tear up my lamp. The Void had like one moment in it, one scene literally that gave like a jaw drop. I was like, for several seconds. And I love when a movie can do that to this old, you know, cynical, seasoned horror lover here. But yeah, it was very good. If, like I said, if you like cosmic, like Lovecraftian vibes, then definitely go into it. I need to catch up on a lot of people's Substack posts too, and I need to catch up on a lot of people's YouTube videos. I just, you know, summer, it throws me, you know, a little bit off. Well, not a little bit, let's be real. It throws me a lot off my schedule. So I need to film some YouTube videos too. But another issue, aside from trying to find a good filming time when Rena's home, is I have recently started using, I'm just kind of figuring out a new video editing software. Ever since I've been on BookTube, I was using Microsoft Clipchamp, and I don't know if any of you have used it, but I just was constantly having a lot of issues with it. It would have lagging issues. It would cut off stuff I was doing, and just a multitude of other problems I had with it. And I had the premium, like, you know, subscription to it, and I was paying, I think it was like 14 or 15 a month. It was somewhere around in that area. And I was like, I'm not paying for this anymore. And I looked at reviews, and there were other people who talked about Microsoft Clipchamp not being the best to use for long form YouTube videos, that it's better for short, like TikTok type videos. So I was like, well, you know, I'm going to just go ahead and try something else. And I had looked around, and then somebody else recommended to me Wondershare Filmora. And I've got a 7-day free trial that I started with it, I think Saturday. And I've been on it a little bit trying to figure it out, because I'm not an editing guru. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've got like some, things to figure out before I actually put a video on it. But that's one of my tasks to do today too, is to explore it more. I did a little bit, but I need to do more. And like I have a 7-day free trial. And even when that trial is over, Wondershare Filmora is like $60 a year with like taxes and stuff, additional like taxes and stuff. But still, I'm like, so I was paying 14 or 15 a month for Clipchamp, which sucked. And so to think about, I don't have a problem paying, 60 or, plus tax, whatever, a year for Wondershare. I just gotta, figure it out. But I was looking at their music choices and all their other options, and it was so much better. So I feel like once I get in the groove with it, I'll be fine. But it's just learning something new. It's always easy when we get as old as I am. So some more hellos and highs. Of course, Kat, I love you. So Salem Cat, Swank Cat is getting all the love too. Yeah, Frere is adorable. Karma wasn't here earlier, but she got the zoomies, so she's running all around everywhere somewhere. Yeah, it's the best kind of attack though, right? It's the best kind. Frere is my little man for sure. He usually goes everywhere I go. If I sit in my chair, he's typically in my lap. He sleeps beside me in the bed. Usually he's like by my head, and then Carmen's down, between Tim's and my feet at the bottom of the bed. Yes. I understand that it does, like, you do have to, balance what sites you're on, because it can be too much. Because right now, like I said, I'm overwhelmed trying to catch up on other people's YouTube videos and other people's Substack posts. I did do TikTok, but I got off TikTok several months ago, and have no plans to return to TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Exactly. It's hard. You do have to see, and streamline, or else you can be totally overwhelmed, for sure. So we are to the end of comments, and I feel like I just been blabbing so much. But I like talking to you all, and I do, as you all know, in addition to major depressive disorder. I don't know why I laughed when I said that. It's not funny. But I also have ADHD. So sometimes I'll, one little thing sets me off, and I'll just go off on this tangent, about stuff. But thank you all for hanging with me. So we will get ready to go to the next sprint before I just go off on another tangent. It's like the more I do this on Tuesdays, and the more I get comfortable with you all, it's like you're all sitting down with me. We're having coffee together or drinks or whatever, and I'm just like just going off about different things. So it's about 10:30 my time. So we will come back at 15 after the next hour. So let me edit one of our banners to reflect that time. And I will see you all at 15 after whatever the next hour is for you. Let me check this comment before I go. Thank you, Em. That's nice to know, because sometimes I don't even like listening to myself talk. Yes, exactly. I feel you on that. A Cat and I have talked about this. Well, Cat's talked about it on Saturday Morning Momentum too. if I am even if I'm working, like working on an article or research for a YouTube video and I need to look something up, if I go on my phone, I get so distracted by other notifications that I look at those first. And then I'm like, why did I even pick up my phone? What was I trying to research? So, Kat has talked about using her computer instead of her phone to do research. So, since I've already got my computer open most of the time, like typing notes or whatever, I have started to use my computer for that too, because I will find, like I said, a million other things to do on my phone. So not only does it waste time, but it also makes me forget what I picked my phone up for, in the first place. Yes, it is. It is, like, it's important to have, we pretty much in this time you have to have it, but it does overconsume us. We do get too caught up in it. Definitely. Yep. Yeah, I see, that's one thing I don't do. I did not put any games on my phone because I know that would suck me in so much. I'm a geek, so I still do Wordle. I do Wordle and I do Spelling Bee from New York Times, and that's it. The Wordle and Spelling Bee. I don't have any of the other little games. I know my son's girlfriend, like when we were on our camping vacation together. She does it's something that looks like Tetris. I think it was called Blockbuster. I don't know, something like that. But it's like Tetris. And so she was doing that a lot. And I'm like, I used to love Tetris as a kid. I'm like, no, I can't get it. I won't get it. I won't get that on my phone because then I'd be even more behind on stuff than I already am. Yeah, I think we're all like mm, feeling the lure of the phone distraction. For real. All right. Well, you all have a great 45 minutes, and I will see you all again at a quarter after our next hour. Happy self care sprint. Hello, everyone. What did you get up to during those self-care sprints? So I did finish reading North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Ballingrud. It's a short story collection, and it's got like mostly 5 and 4 star ratings. It even won a Shirley Jackson Award. But for me, like overall, I just rated the collection 3 stars. I mean, it was fine, but it was not amazing. I was actually just ready for it to be over. I didn't hate it because it was 3 stars. I mean, there were some good parts, and a couple of the stories were better than the others. But I am obviously in the minority here. But I didn't I didn't really care for it as much as I had hoped to, because I really enjoyed Crypt of the Moon Spider by Nathan Ballingrud, which was a book club selection for Literary Love Book Club. But I don't know, I didn't get on with North American Lake Monsters. It was really about like human monsters, which I knew pretty much from the back of it, but so it's not like I was expecting monsters like to me, like if you just get that title North American Lake Monsters, it also almost sounds like it's going to be more like a cryptid sort of kind of thing. But it is about human monsters, and I like to read fictionally, of course, about human monsters. But it just, I don't know, it was fine. But I'm just glad it's done. So that's my thoughts on North American Lake Monsters. So let me go check our comments now and see what everybody else got up to. Let's see where we left off here. So you have quite a few there, Swank. Yeah. That is true. That is true. Because I have a 26 and 2026 list, and I don't know that I've finished anything on it yet, and it's the middle of June. Weeding instead of reading. There you go. We got to do what we got to do sometimes, right? So the next book that I'm gonna be starting, like my physical book, is Sacrificial Animals by Kaylee Peterson. So I don't know that I will get to it on the next self-care sprint. I do plan to listen to some more of my audiobook, Aurora, while I get lunch together for Rena and me. So that's really my only plan for this last sprint that we have today, is to listen to Aurora and get lunch together for me and Rena. So let me check in our comments. Very nice, Kat. Getting the schedule for the rest of June, posting it in different places to make sure everybody knows what you're going to be up to and what we can join you for. Ah, yay, Alicia. I'm so excited for you and your progress. Oh my gosh. I know it feels so good. I know you are excited. I love that. Wonderful. So we will go ahead. Let me check our time. So it's 11:20. I will go ahead and we will do 45 minutes. A lot of times on the last sprint, I'll just do 30, but I'm gonna go ahead with 45 today. So that'll give me time to get lunch for me and Rena. And so I will see you all back at like 5 after this next hour. So let me go ahead and fix this up here. and check this comment. Hey, Kaylin, I'm so glad you got to be here today. I'm glad you popped in the middle of working and organizing craft supplies. It's great to see you today. Oh, I can't wait to see the finished painted bookshelves. Look at Swank, finished study books, back to reading, feral creatures. There you go. And some hellos and highs. All right, so I will see you all again in 45 minutes. Love all our comments, our friendly community. We are so fortunate to have this connection here. Kit Kat, I love it. Happy self care. See you all in about 45 minutes. Hello, everybody. So, how did you do during those 45 minutes? We did get lunch here, and then I almost finished working on a baby shower invitation. I just got a couple of more elements I want to add to it. So, what did you all do? How did your sprint go? Let me check into these comments and see. You got this, 100 pages. You can do it, Swank. Okay, a darker shade of magic. Okay, I have not heard of that one. So I hope you enjoy that, Swank. Like I said, I think you can knock out 100 pages today. I'm looking forward to starting Sacrificial Animals. So fingers crossed that it'll be a good one. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Spiders, I do like spiders. Obviously there are some spiders you don't want to get too close to. You have to be careful, but most of them are not going to hurt you. And toads, there was this one toad when we were on our camping trip that when we got there, like the first night, he was right outside the door of our cabin and he kept making his appearance, throughout the days and nights that we were there. So we kind of adopted him as like a little pet that we had outdoors while we were there. You were so busy. Look at you, Alicia. Just go, go, go. You had a lot going in 45 minutes. I'm going to go head over to the Discord also when I leave here to look at that finished product there. I'm so happy for you. I love that. So it looks like we are to the end of our comments. So I'm going to go and finish working on that invitation and then explore Wondershare, Fillmore, and hopefully figure it out so I can get some, videos recorded and uploaded for YouTube because it's been a little while since I had one up there for y'all. Oh no. They were like, hey, we live here. What are you doing? Poor spiders, right? Oh, I hope you get it too. I have like several audiobooks on hold from my library, and some of them are 4 weeks out, some of them are 8 weeks out, and some of them are like months and months and months out. So I hope that does come in for you, Kat, so you can read it, so you can be ready for your Cozy Cottage Book Club. Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day too. So I hope all of you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you may be. Thank you for being here. If you're catching us on replay, thank you for watching on replay. Please be sure to let us know what you did during these self-care sprints. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Let me check a few more comments. Thank you for being here, Kat. I hope you have an awesome day too. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for being here. I cannot wait to check out your bookshelves. And thank you for being here, Swank. Thank you so much. Love you all. Appreciate you all. And I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Bye.